If you're a real estate agent and you aren't getting business off of open houses, you are probably missing out on one of the best prospecting strategies of 2023. So stay till the end of this video as I'll be sharing the #1 goal of an open house and exactly what I do for an open house that has provided me with the quickest way to drum up business. Now, preparing for an open house takes more than just cleaning and decluttering. There are some basic steps and advanced strategies to help you get more buyers and sellers and additional content. So you can start by creating a social media post on Canva, create a reel on Instagram, and a YouTube video to promote your open house. You can send out postcards inviting the neighbors and shoot a reel outside and inside the house if possible. Now, of course, this is optional because sometimes you won't have enough time to make postcards and send them out. However, you should definitely be posting this on social media. Now, before the open house, go and explore the neighborhood. Go take your spouse out or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and go have dinner in the neighborhood. Go see a movie in that neighborhood. Go shopping, go grocery shopping. Really get to know that neighborhood before you have that open house. And also, before the open house, have the 5 closest similar listings nearby and ready. Print off the MLS sheets, be familiar with what's ready because you'll have people come in there that might not afford that one or might not like something about that. And then you can set a showing for after the open house to go show them that house. It's a great strategy. I love it. So to make sure everything runs smoothly on the day of the open house, get at least 20 open house signs. These should be placed strategically in high traffic areas near the home. So find the largest main street that pretty much everyone knows, put a sign into the neighborhood, put a sign at the first corner, put a sign at another corner. If it kind of bears to the left, put a sign there, keep on directing people. You want to make it very easy for people to find your place. I literally can double the traffic in an open house by strategically placed open house signs. Now, before you start setting up open house signs, the first thing I do when I arrive in the neighborhood that morning is I place a sign on a door stating the time of the open house. So I'll just say open house from 11 to 2. The reason being because I'm going to be out setting up open house signs and I'm going to be knocking doors. So I don't want people showing up there if the open house hasn't started yet. Or you might have clients that are still in that house and they don't want people just walking right in. So make sure you do that first. And you also want to make sure that the house is clean and clutter free, clean and tidy. So, talk to the homeowners or the listing agent if you're doing it for another agent and tell them like, hey, we're having an open house, or first you're going to get permission to do the open house and, say, hey, can, they get a professional cleaner before I start? I always like to do my open houses after a professional cleaner has been there the past week. It's embarrassing to get to a house that's very dirty and you're holding an open house and you spent all this work promoting it because if they did not communicate to the owner and have them do the cleaning and mowing the lawn, trimming bushes and all that stuff, it looks really badly on you. So if you want to keep a quality kind of a luxury image, then you want to make sure all that stuff is done. And if you do open houses, and by the second open house that you do for a listing agent and they have a house that's still not clean, don't do open houses for them anymore because you want to keep that brand up to snuff. And so, it's not worth it. So, but there will be some things that you might have to clean up. So what I always do, I bring a cordless vacuum cleaner, a broom, a mop, and a trash can, and some extra trash bags. If you have signs that need to be staked in the ground, bring stakes and tools to help with the installation. I know this from experience because many times it hasn't rained for a while. We kind of have some, tough ground in Colorado that makes those stakes a lot harder to put in the ground. So I've gotten a lot smarter on this. I'm actually going to order some signs that you can just pick up and then they fold out so you don't even have to stake them. So that's what I'm going to order. So do that. So you might consider doing that as well because, in my area, it's just been a real pain to get all these in. Before the open house, make sure you print all of your marketing materials. So you want a sign-in sheet or a laptop. Some places like KV Core I know have an app where people can sign in electronically. So you can have a laptop or you can hand them your phone if you'd like to do that. And it will automatically put it into your CRM. So, sign-in sheet or that. The only thing with that, it makes it kind of easier afterwards. You don't have to input everyone's information into your KV Core or your CRM. The only bad thing is people are hesitant to sign in to a computer and put all of their information because they're going to think, oh, well, you're just getting spammy and stuff. You can kind of play around with it either or. There's no perfect way to do it. So sign-in sheet I like because because I don't like to rely on a computer just in case it goes down, and I'll just send it off to my VA. I'll take a picture of it. I'm like, hey, enter in all these people's information. One of the downsides to having a sign-in sheet is it's sometimes really hard to read people's info. Okay, so you got all your materials printed off. You're all ready for the open house. You've got the sign on the door. You got your signs up. So as guests arrive, welcome them at the door. And if you have a name tag, go ahead and wear it. Be friendly, get assertive, and focus on getting appointments. This is the thing that most realtors mess up on. They don't have the goal to get appointments. That's your goal. You're not there just to meet people. You're not there to necessarily just sell the house. You want to get appointments. If they are interested, set the appointment there. Have your appointment book if you want to do it in writing so you don't have to rely on your cell phone. And so sometimes that's a lot quicker. So get appointments. That's the key strategy, and that's how you really kill it, because you need to follow up afterwards. But a lot of times, if you don't have the appointment already set, you're not going to get an answer. We've all been there. You're just going to take a lot of time following up when you could have just set an appointment right there, and then they will have to answer if they even want to cancel the appointment. So yeah, definitely that's the strategy you want to use. So you can also play some nice music. Sometimes to that, I don't really worry about that too much, but you definitely want to make sure you're very knowledgeable about that local specific market, and be prepared to answer any questions visitors might have. And so you can show nearby properties for sale. If they're not interested in a house, then yeah, set an appointment to show them another place. So you want to make sure you block off a couple hours after your open house. Don't set another meeting right afterwards before the open house. Keep that time open, because you don't want to be rushed with showing clients properties or not have the ability to show them property that day. Because if they're at the open house, they probably don't have much else on a Sunday afternoon that they have to do. They are looking for houses. So perfect time to set a meeting there. Another strategy you can use, you can have a clipboard and have like a sheet that they can rate what they liked about the open house. If you'd like to have a sample sheet, please comment below and I will give you my sheet on what I hand people that they can rate the house, because people love providing their opinions. So it's like you're listening, and then plus, if it's your listing, then you'll know what you need to do. They have really no problem with telling you how they feel about a house. So also provide flyers and business cards, and you can give a brief presentation on the home and its unique features. Now, you can have business cards or you can have it electronically. So if they're like, hey, do you have a business card? And it's a great way to get their information. Like, hey, actually, I don't, but I have it electronically. I'll just give you that. So sometimes that works fairly decently. So, but always remember that the entire goal is to get an appointment. It's not to meet people. It's not to show your face. The whole goal of an open house is to get an appointment. So at the open house, you need to be friendly, knowledgeable, and persistent in getting visitors to set up a meeting. So a good strategy is to do it with someone else as well, who can kind of keep a conversation going while you're showing the house to a current party that's there. So this works out really well, because then it's really easy to get the meeting, because you're walking around, they kind of see how you operate in your environment. So it makes it a lot easy by the end to get the meeting. So you just dominated your open house. So what do you do after the open house? Well, first, clean up the space and leave the house better than when you arrived, because that listing agent, they do not want to get a call on a Sunday night from a pissed off seller. So also right after the open house, as soon as you can, call the listing agent and tell them exactly how it went. I do this before I even pick up my open house signs. I call the listing agent and tell them, hey, this is how many people we had, what they said about the house, what they thought, and just, give them, a good description. Listing agents love this, because that will get you more deals. When you clean up and they know that you take care of the place and they can trust you with it, then they have a listing. They'd be more than happy to let you do it later on. So, and then after you call the listing agent, follow up with guests who made appointments or expressed interest. So that is another thing. The number one thing realtors do not do, as we went into earlier, is they don't have the goal of setting appointments. Number two is they don't follow up. And so they leave a lot of money on the table without even knowing it. So you want to follow up with guests who did not make appointments within 48 hours. Sooner the better. And so remember, entire goal is to make an appointment. So in addition to these tips, there are a few optional items that you can bring to the open house. So you can consider providing snacks or drinks. Now, I sometimes do this, sometimes don't. I always bring water, and I'll try and cool it beforehand. I'll stick it in my fridge at my house before the open house. And then once I get to the open house, if there's room, I'll put water in the fridge and have some sitting out. Now, Sometimes I'll bring some chips, maybe do like cheeses and meats and stuff. It's nothing too dirty, but I have not seen that really make a difference in the success of my open house, but feel free to do it. So make sure when you go there, have a Swiffer, booties, pins, clipboard, so people can rate the house. So another thing is that's how you can get buyers, but here is a ninja strategy on how to get sellers. Now what I do, I knock the 5 doors to the right of the house, 5 doors to the left, and 10 doors across the street. Now, all I do is introduce myself and say, hey, your neighbor is selling their house. We're holding an open house. Just want to invite you. And I hand them a flyer and probably my business card too. I just leave it at that. Usually people are very happy to see you, and I get a lot more traffic that way, and also able to introduce myself. I don't really try and pressure people to sell and stuff. It's just a quick knock. You've got an open house that you still got to do. So, but knock the doors and you can get sellers. The time to really talk with them is if they're interested in selling, then they're going to show up to your open house. And a lot of people will come just because they're kind of nosy neighbors and they just want to see their neighbor's house. This is how you can make the most out of your open house. And if you're spending your weekend or a Saturday or a Sunday, you want to make sure you maximize it. So utilize these steps so you can secure appointments and future clients. So I've put together an entire to-do list because sometimes it's like, oh wait, did I forget that? So I put this all together in one simple sheet. So if you like my 30-step to-do list on how to properly host an open house, drop a comment below. I'll send it to you for free, no problem. And before I go, would you do me a huge favor? Will you please like this video, show a little bit of love to that subscribe button, and hit a notification bell because I'm always sharing all my knowledge on how to do stuff in the real estate industry. So if you'd like any more info, feel free to reach out to me. My contact info is below, and I hope you go nail it and go dominate your next open house. Bye, friends.